I'm not sure what this stuff is down here. The wheel has melted somehow, and you can literally just kind of like everything has melted off of this. If you can see me bend the fold it. So I don't know. All right, so today we have a Slammer winner. We are going to be changing the motor that turns the wheel. This is going to be great. This is I've never seen anything like this happen before, where the wheel, I don't know, the rubber of the wheel has completely melted. You can see it right there. It's all completely melted. It's definitely hardened up now, but you can see that I was able to pick some out. A few days ago when I noticed this, it was gooey, real gooey. So it's not so gooey right now, but it definitely, you could definitely peel it all up. But you know, as you can see that the wheel has definitely melted completely off. It's supposed to be like that, and now it's just like that. So that is that wheel right there. So I'm gonna see if I can reuse this and stick this back on there somehow. That little piece here that I ripped off. Don't know if I'll be able to use it. Don't even care if I do use it or not. But I'm gonna see if I can clean it up and reuse it. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and take this off and then replace it with a new one. So let's go ahead and remove this bad boy. All right, just so we can get a better look at it. You can see where this is really nice, and you can see where this has completely melted. I have no idea as to how it could have melted. I mean, that's just incredible how it melted like that. I mean, the whole entire wheel. I've never seen it do that. I've seen it wear down. I've seen the motor stop working, period. But to melt like this, I've never seen that. That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyway, so we got the new one. That's gonna be a super simple install. I mean, it was just 2 screws to remove anyways, 2 little nuts, and then I just kind of pop this back in there, connect it back, and everything should be good to go. Although I am gonna clean the wheel a little bit, because there is a lot of that blue residue on the side there. So I'm gonna use a little alcohol, a little rag, and just kind of clean it all up, get it out of there, because I don't want that stickiness to get all over the new wheel and then start to make that wheel go bad. So let's go ahead and clean that up and then install the wheel. All right, so I ended up taking the wheel out because it was just too hard to try and clean that off while it was in there. Super simple, just remove the little rubber ball that was on the top of it. It's got a little hole on there. It's just on there. It's not even screwed in. You just kind of pull it out, and that's it. Take the nut out, and everything should just slide right out. It's kind of dirty in here as well. We also have some of this stuff right here. I don't know what this is, so you know, we'll clean this stuff out. Just clean everything up, make it look nice. Clean up that little bit of goo, whatever that is. But yeah, we'll clean this up and get everything back together, and it'll look nice. So let's finish up here. All right, so we got everything nicely cleaned up. I've even removed these little wheels right there, even these 2 in here and over there. I removed those wheels and put some, what is this, 3-in-1 oil. One of my favorite oils to use, 3-in-1 oil. One of the best oils on the bearings. Spun around, made sure they're clean, stuff like that, put it back together. I even cleaned that little sensor, I dusted it out. Now it's just a matter of putting the wheel or the turntable back on and then put the little motor, or maybe we could put the motor in first to make it a little easier for ourselves, but it really doesn't make a difference. I've done it both ways, and either way is fine. But here's the wheel. I cleaned this bad boy up, everything's nice and clean, front and back. So yeah, let's just install it, tighten everything down, put it all back together, install the motor, and give it a test. All right, so let's continue on. All right, so we have the turntable back in. So one thing when you're putting the turntable back in, the nut that you have to put on the bolt here to hold everything down, don't tighten it too tight. You want this table to be able to move freely like this. You don't want the wheel to maybe overheat, and maybe that's why it melted because it got too hot from just, you know, trying to push this. So I'm not sure if that was the case, or if that was what happened. Anyways, try not to make it so tight. Tighten it down just so the nut kind of like kisses the top of the bearing here, and you should be able to spin it like this. If it's too tight, you know, it's going to become problems for the wheel, and eventually your wheel will wear out, or melt like it did right there. So now that this is back on, we can go ahead and put the wheel on. So let's go ahead and do that. And I cleaned this and just kind of shove it back on there. That's it. Sorry, let's put the wheel back on. All right, so it's all back together now. I got the motor in, turntables back in, everything's been lubed. When you're installing this, and again, even with this bolt over here, just like this bolt over here, you want to, you know, tighten these down just so it kisses the washer. You don't want it so tight because this has to be able to move kind of back and forth, you know, in case the wheel is not perfectly round, so that way kind of has that motion back and forth. And if this is too tight, it's not going to allow it, and this is too tight, it's not going to allow it. So you got to make sure that these two are tight enough but loose enough to be able to let this go back and forth as the wheel turns. So now all that's left is to put the back door on and turn it on, test it, see what happens. So let's put it back together, put the back door on, and test it. All right, so everything's almost back in. I have this piece of plastic again. If you don't know how to get this plastic in and out, this plastic is very, very flimsy. There's a little nut right there. You just kind of remove that nut, and then you just kind of like pull this out, fold it, and, you know, pull it out the back, and then that's it. Same way putting it back in, just kind of fold it and, you know, kind of put it in there. But I may have to replace this because I did have a small mishap as I was pulling it down. It cracked on me. This is the original piece of plexi that was in this game, so I may have to replace it. So I did what I could for now, and I put some there's packing tape around it, so at least it's clearer that way. It's not an ugly sight, but it still looks ugly. But I want to get this game back up and running, so it'll be working, and I'll order the piece, and that's it, or I'll cut one myself. Not sure what I'm going to do yet, but I'm definitely going to replace it. Anyways, let me put the little nut out, we'll put the little back door on, and then we'll just test it and see what happens. Alright, so let's finish up. Alright, so everything is back together. We have the belt back on, balls are back in, motors are plugged back in, so they're powered up. Game's already moving right now, game's already on. All we have to do is just drop a couple balls, make sure it works fine. Although if we just drop the balls that are there, because it's got 39 credits in it, it really won't give me my tickets. So we can press the button and it's like a 50-50 chance that it'll give me my tickets. Let's see if it'll give me my 5 tickets without me actually scanning my card. Oh, look at that, it did give me my tickets. All right. Oh, it's probably because I may have scanned it once or twice, just for the heck of it. Anyways, well, that's it. The game's back up and running. All the bearings have been lubed. Wheels back on, motors back in, everything's back together. Game's working fine. It is okay to let this game rock and roll. So I hope this video helps you, and thanks for watching. Slimo,